And eyebrows can either make you look old or young, depending on how you draw it. A good sculpted eyebrows will always make you look refreshing and beautiful if you know how to sculpt and draw your brows. Come with me, let me show you how I did this amazing eyebrow look. Okay guys, so the first thing I did is to get my brow tamer, and I'm going to be using the tamer. This is just a hair wax, not a wax stick, and I'm going to be using that with my spoolie brush. So I'm going to first of all get the wax stick, and with my spoolie brush I'm going to be using it to tame down the brows. So I'm going to be using it in place of a brow tamer. So I'm going to be using it to tame down the hairs of my brows. So before I begin to draw the brows, I first of all tame down the hairs, because I don't want the hairs everywhere when I'm drawing the brows. I love it when the hairs of the brows is always very slicked and laid in a place when I'm drawing, so that I have space and I see the line when I'm sculpting and when I'm outlining the brows. Okay guys, so after making the hair sleep, I am going to use setting powder and set it at a place, and after a while I'm going to get my brush to dust out the excess powder. So I'm going to be using this, my Hega and Esther brow gel in the shade Nubia, and I'm going to equally be using my angled brush from Merak Cosmetics to outline the brows. So the first thing I'm going to do as well, I'm going to be outlining the brows just following her natural brow hair. Remember that when I tamed down the hairs of the brows, I already tamed it down so that I can actually now see how the natural hairs of her brows is, how her hairs, how the flow, the way it's sculpted, the way everything is. So when I have seen these, I can now be able to know how to sculpt and how to follow the natural hairs of the brows. Okay guys, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to continue to sculpt, and I'm going to continue to outline the brows with this brow gel, following the natural hairline. So just the natural hairline, because it's equally very important as a makeup artist when you carve the brows that you know how to carve the brows. That is going to help you when you are now outlining the brows. Okay guys, so I know you guys might not find out, but there is actually a little bit mistake in this brows. Not like a big mistake at that, it's just that I could have used a darker shade of my brow gel to outline the brows, like, because this shade is a little bit lighter than her complexion. Okay guys, so moving on, that is actually a mistake and I already take the correction. Moving on, I'm going to be using my Davis pencil in the shade 003. I'm going to be using that to fill out or fill in the brow hairs. You know guys, I don't like shading my brow hairs. I love to give strokes, light strokes, because like I'm going to sharpen my pencil to have a very pointed tips, and I'm going to use it to give the brows strokes. I prefer giving the hairs of the brows strokes rather than shading it, because I feel like the hairs of the brows is not shaded, rather it has this natural feathery effect. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be using the Nuban Beauty concealer and my Tarte Shape concealer. I'm going to be using the both of them to conceal the brows. So these are just the concealer that I used earlier for her on her face. So I'm going to be using the lighter shade to conceal the inner corners of the brows, especially the brow bone. The brow bone is a place that you need to be lifted. Not just lifted, it needs to be brighter than every other place, because that place is a place that pops out more on the brows, more than any other place. So I'm going to be using my concealer to equally help that to be lifted and equally to pop out. So in this side of the brows, I feel like I didn't outline it very well, so I'm just going back. When I was done concealing this side, so I just noticed that this side needed a little bit of touch, so I'm just going back with my with my brush to just further extend that. One funny thing, some people do feel that if you are good with drawing brows or something, that you don't ever make mistakes, but that is a lie. Eyebrows, there is no right or wrong in it. You just have to keep doing it. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. It's not a must that you must get it at the first instance. Sometimes I make mistake, but the only thing is that at the end of the day, before I am done, I must have created a good brows on my client's face. Notwithstanding, no matter how I did it, even if I make mistake, I must achieve something nice. Okay guys, so moving on, after concealing the both brows, I'm going to be using my brush. This is a fluffy brush from my brows, my brush set. I'm going to be using that to blend out the concealer, just to blend, you know, like blend it in, because it's everywhere and scattered. So when you blend it in, everything is going to be at a place. After blending it in, I'm using a powder from my powder palette to set the brows, like mostly the brow bone. You know how I've used concealers and the concealers, most of the time, concealer is not just most of the time, the concealers are actually very liquid, and I don't like seeing liquid effect on the brows. Like, this is one thing I don't like at all. So I love to set it with powder. So when I set it with powder, I feel like I have secured the brows. And so after doing everything, it's time for me to conceal the upper part of the brows. So I'm going to go ahead and conceal. I'm using this angled brush that I've owned for years. Like I said earlier, I think this brush should already be named after my name, because I've used this brush for more than 6 years now, and I didn't believe that I would travel to the UK with this brush. If somebody had told me that I would be going to the UK with this brush, I would say it's a lie. But see me today, I came here with this brush. I'm still using it to work. This is the oldest brush in my box. The oldest. It's the first brush I started using ever since I started doing makeup, and I'm still using it till today. It's almost more than 6 years now. You see that the tips, the angle, the spoolie in the brush, because it has spoolie at the upper part of it, but that spoolie is already long gone as well, and I'm just still using the brush to conceal brows. I don't know if anybody has a brush like this that you couldn't like toss it away, even if I lost every other thing, not this one. Okay guys, so I'm just going ahead. I continue to conceal the brows. I'm trying to make sure that both brows are the same thing. You know, one thing, I'll just continue to look at it. I'll try and see where it's not falling into place, because sometimes, most of the time, it's not I don't just do it once and get it correct. I just, you know, keep looking at it. I'll look front, look back. I'll go ahead, I go to my phone and check. I'll look, you know, checking different places to be sure that no, I didn't leave anything unattended to or untouched and everything. Okay guys, so when I was done, I have to just set the brows again. And guys, so this is actually the end of the video. This is what I came out with. This is how it looks when I was done concealing everything, and when I was done concealing the brows and setting the brows. Do you guys think I did a good job? Please leave the comments in the comment section below, and